Hello YouTube. What you're looking at here is my community tank. When we started this whole project, we decided that we were not going to mess with cichlids. Well, welcome to our cichlid tank. This is a 75-gallon tank that we rescued from my in-laws' basement. The tank, the stand, the light hood, everything was there. It was just collecting dust. So my wife and I decided that we would go ahead and give cichlids a try. So we cycled this tank using Dr. Tim's fishless cycling kit, and it cycled in 3 weeks flat. I did cheat a little bit when I did water changes out of the community tank that I just showed you. I put some water out of that tank into this one. I also took filter material out of the hang-on back filter from that tank and put it into the filter for this tank to just kind of give it a boost. And the Dr. Tim stuff did work for me. I know some people don't like that, but whatever. Let's talk about some of the equipment that we use on this tank. The background is just basically a giant decal, and we ordered it from Blue Life Backgrounds, and it's in black. And you'll notice that the frame on the tank is black. The hood on the light here, for the light rather, has got a fake wood grain to it, and that's basically the way the frame on the tank looked. So I had some of that leftover background material. It's just vinyl decal material, and I put it around the frame on the tank to make it black. So I got rid of that nasty wood color. The tank stand here was kind of it's all pine, and it was supposed to be stained, I guess, to be like oak, but it really kind of looked mustardy, so we restained it, and it turned out just fine. Inside there, in the back corner there, is a 300-watt fluval heater. We have a sand bottom in here, as you can see, and it's not pool sand. This is the expensive Carib Sea sand. So we have two types in there. It's the Carib Sea Cichlid mix and the Carib Sea Argonite mix. I put them both in there. My natural pH for my tap water is about 7.2. This stuff bumped me up to 8. Perfect. It is very expensive, so be prepared for that if you choose to do that. There's about 70 to 75 pounds of sand in there. Turned out great. I am using a Cascade 1000 canister filter, and I'll show you that here underneath and in the cabinet down here. There he is right there. And as you can see, there are 3 trays in the filter. There's one here, one here, one here. These filters work from the bottom up. So what do I have in this filter? Oh, by the way, this cycles this tank over 10 times an hour. So I'm getting plenty of filtration. As you can see, the sand is pretty clean. However, I did do a water change today, vacuumed up a bunch of stuff, as you all would know. So what I have in the bottom tray of that filter is some extremely porous filter material, and it gradually gets less porous as we go up on the bottom tray. In the second tray, the middle tray, I have some polyfill batting material like you would use to put in a pillow, okay, or maybe a coat. I've got that packed in there pretty tightly in that second tray, and that really gets out the finer particulate that gets in that water, and I think it's got a lot to do with why the tank is clean. It's like this all the time. Laying on top of that batting material is a product called Chemi Pure Blue. Try and get it in the light so you can see it right there. And this has carbon material in it, and you know, it was recommended by many people on the internet looking through YouTube, because I do not know everything about fish, and I thought I'd give it a try. So I laid it on top of all that batting material in the second tray right there. So it's just a bag, feels like it's full of sand, and it's laying on top of that batting material. Now, in the top tray, I have some BioHome Ultra filter media, alright, and it is this. Okay, it's just extruded ceramic type material. It's very porous so that the bacteria has a place to live, and that whole top tray right there is full of this stuff so that we can have a place for our nitrifying bacteria to live. Alright, and I don't know the name of the other bacteria, but there's two kinds in there, and we all know that stuff. As you can see in here, these rocks, I really got the idea for this kind of a layout from a guy on YouTube named Colin Zwimmer. He used slate in his tank, and I couldn't find any slate because I really wanted to emulate his tank. So the best thing that I could come up with in my mind was countertop material. So I went to the local granite countertop place to see if they had any broken pieces of granite, and sure enough they did. So I got some big pieces from them, went at it with a hammer and a chisel, and put it all in here. After sending it to a local place for some sandblasting, I wanted that shiny surface off so it would be kind of a natural looking color. What the material looked like before is what you might imagine is this. Okay, kind of sparkly on the sides. I thought that'd be kind of cool in the tank. The back is kind of whitish because that's where the saw was, and the sandblasting did a wonderful job to knock that down and bring us up to this. So the next thing that I want to talk about, the light bulb. It's a 50-50 fluorescent tube light bulb, and I think that covers all the material that's in here. We've got some wave makers in there, as you could tell. Some people don't like that idea. The fish don't seem to mind, and I think it kind of gives them, you know, a little exercise, whatever, makes them a little bit stronger, possibly. I don't know. We'll talk about the list of fish that is in here in just a second. So right now there are 11 fish, make that 13 fish in this tank. The fish that are in here are a red shoulder, a firemouth. That's a South American fish, which I know some people may have a problem with. There is another South American fish in here. This guy right here, a Jack Dempsey, which might be the Achilles heel to my ideas. There's the firemouth right there. But we'll see. You know, some people say that they have no problem with their Dempseys. Well, I'm going to try it and see what happens. We have a young Taiwan reef in there. As you can tell, all these fish are juveniles. They have next to no color. And I intend to show that. We'll try and do a monthly update so that everybody can watch the fish grow. So we have the Dempsey at Taiwan reef, a blue regal, we have a lemon jake, a red empress, which is normally out front showing everybody. There it is right here in the middle. I have a very hard time picking out some of these fish at this age. We have a bicolor peacock in there, a blue neon, a sunshine peacock, and an electric yellow who seems to be hiding right now. That guy likes to kind of be out a lot, but at some point you'll see him swim across, there's no doubt. So that's what I've got in this tank right now, with a couple of bristlenose plecostomus. I don't know if you can see this red guy back here. It's called a super red plecostomus. The yellow dude's back there behind the rock. You might have got a glimpse of him. But then we've got just your regular bristlenose plecostomus hiding out in here somewhere. But so far, everything's going well. We're going to add another 9 fish to this to put it to 20 cichlids. And the two, there's the electric yellow right there. With the 2 plecostomus, so we'll have 22 fish in here total, with the idea of being overstocking this thing so that we can keep chaos high, so that nobody in particular can get picked on. So we'll see how that goes. I'll try to show you a live unboxing of some fish that I got the other day from Bluegrass Cichlids down in Florida, and I believe he's trying to change his name to Tampa Bay Cichlids, but the fish came in wonderful. They're all about this same size, so they'll match perfectly in here. Right now they're in a quarantine tank, so we'll show you the unboxing next, and then we'll go on to the quarantine tank. Alright YouTube, I just got my first order of live fish. This one is from Bluegrass Cichlids. There should be 9 of them in here. And I'm going to try and show you as I unbox these guys. So here we go. Here's his card. Here's his supervisor. Here. Instructions on acclimation. And there we go. Food pack on the top. Right there. Paper plate to insulate them from that, I guess. Blown in insulation. And open the bag, and here's everybody. They're all labeled. Okay. So I'm gonna take them out and float them. What? The box is all well insulated with basically blue board. Very similar to blue board insulation. There you have it.
cat poop comes today.
This is the OB peacock.
Well, out. So are they all in individual bags?
Yeah.
So you have to do each 9 bags, half of your water and half of theirs.
This is just like it says, the dragon blood. There he is. These are all double bagged, by the way. I'm starting to float them all. Here's the lithobates. Let's see if we get a good view of him. Right there. Tangerine tiger. There he is. A lot of these little cichlids, to me, look the same. There's a little dude. This is a species 35 tomato cichlid. And everybody, so far, is alive and well. Again, they're all double bagged. And the fish are pretty much what he described. 2 inches-ish, 1.5, 2.5 inches. So as you have seen, or as you will see, depending on where this goes in the sequence of making this video, my cichlid tank's pretty generic. There's nothing really crazy in there. But this is probably the most, I don't know, I wouldn't call them rare, but off-the-wall cichlid I guess I have. It's an intermediate. And I'm kind of excited for him too. This is the Eureka Red. You can see him in there. Again, everybody's doing well. This, the redfin borlei. You can see him in there. A little cloudier on this side. He's a little excited to be here, I think. And I was actually looking forward to this guy. I know it's not all that exotic to everybody else, but I just like a Venustus, and here he is.
Yes.
So all the fish are in the quarantine tank,
You want
where they're going to stay for a few weeks.
The fish aren't up here for you to
And
be getting into, are they? Well, the box.
That's kind of the plan here. We're going to quarantine everybody. We got OB right there. And then
Yep, she came. We walked around the
after a few weeks, we're going to put them into the big tank.
Practice with the steps. That showed me how to find.
Okay, so this is the quarantine tank, and I'm going to do a quick rundown of what's in here because my phone's giving me grief. We have a species 35 tomato in there, a redfin borlei. We have a dragon blood, who's that little albino guy right back there. This other albino looking fish right here is a Eureka Red, an albino Eureka Red. We have a lithobates, which is this spotted guy right here, I think. We have a intermedius, which I believe is that guy that's above the lithobates. We have a Venustus, who is just coming out from under the rocks right there. An OB peacock, which is hanging out back here in the corner, all the way back there. Already has color at such a young age. Pretty cool. And we have a tangerine tiger in here. So there it is. They're going to stay in there for 3 weeks to a month unless I break down and let them out earlier into the 75. When I do put them into the 75-gallon tank, I will do an update at that point. And we'll talk to you later. This is what I'm feeding everybody right now. New Life Spectrum Cichlid formula. These are 1 millimeter pellets. As they grow a little bit older, I'm going to try this. Guy on YouTube named Jay Wilson swears by this. I will move over to the north fin when the fish get a little bit bigger and able to eat a 2mm pellet. And we'll try them both and see how they go. I don't know if I'll notice anything, but we'll give it a crack. And finally, I thought I'd give you guys a rundown of all the YouTube channels that I've watched in order to get this tank up and running. There's a lot of cool people on YouTube that I think deserve some attention. Not that they're going to get a lot from my channel, but it's certainly worth mentioning to anybody that might come along. I watched some videos from the following people: Lou9294, Shane Church, Big Z's Tanks, King Fish, Rob Traquair, Dr. Tim's Aquatics, we talked about that for cycling, KG Tropicals, specifically a guide to buying African cichlids, but he has a lot of other excellent videos on there as well. I mentioned the guy Colin Zwimmer, ZWIMER, who gave me ideas on this background by looking at his videos. And finally, Jay Wilson, who has quite a large presence on YouTube, reference cichlids. So there we go. That's the people that I watched, and many others, to get some background on how to do this.